Hi, welcome back. So I wanted to show you guys a couple of other Flowish style journals that I've received. And for all of you that are familiar with my channel, I'm in a group that I love these Flowish style journals first and foremost. They're just a really fun way to collect. They're meant to be a supply journal. And we swapped them in a group on Facebook called Trashy Junk Journals. And I will put the link in the description box below for that group. So the idea is that in trashy junk journals is that you reuse and repurpose things that you have in your everyday life. It's not about downloading digikits or going to buy a bunch of crafting or scrapbooking supplies. It's fine if you have some crafting and scrapbooking supplies, but that's not the focus. The focus is making your art with what you have right in front of you and becoming creative. It's just about unlocking your creativity and using what you have right here. So this is one of those Flowish style journals that I received from my friend Jean, and I just wanted to share it with you. So she made her book. It's quite chunky and quite fat. And she made her book out of packaging. She told me that it was from like an Amazon box that she received in the mail. And so she decoupaged the whole outside cover with tissue paper. Remember when we were kids and we did these stained glass things like this? I love it. So it's a really nice journal to keep supplies in. And hers has 3 signatures in it, and she used a twine binding. And so all the papers are slipped in, like you would sort of in a Midori book with no binding, with no holes punched in them. And then she used tape to secure the outside so the papers wouldn't move around a lot. I want to share it with you because it's got so many fun things in it, isn't it? She made a pocket in the front, and it's got, I'm not going to show you every little bit because there's tons of stuff in it. She included painted papers, black papers, just some really cool scrap bits here. It's really neat. And on this side I'm just going to do a quick flip. So it just gives you an idea. So if you haven't ever made a Flowish style journal, I encourage you. It's based on a paper lover's book, or the idea originally came from a paper lover's book called Flowbook. And the person that started the group, Trashy Junk Journals, name is Rosemary Morris, and I'll also link her YouTube channel and below. We got into a conversation in the group. It's a really fun group to belong to. Everyone's super kind. We got into a discussion about Flowbook, and we all love it, but it's really quite pricey. It's a quite large map, isn't it cool? It's really quite pricey, and so we started talking about, the conversation became about, like, well, why don't we make our own Flowbook? Like, why don't we make our own versions from our own supplies and share it with one another? Because what I have in my supply stash might not be what you have in yours. And share all the bits and pieces of recycled, not just scrapbooking paper, but recycled paper you've painted on. In this group, Trashy Junk Journals, the idea is to use what you have right in front of you and incorporate it in your supplies. And everybody there is pretty much a collage artist and does all sorts of bits and mixed media, lots of mixed media. Isn't this cool? Glassine envelope from the post office. Isn't that cool? And she just filled it with bits. So the idea was we would swap our stash. Things that we loved or were working on, or that we had plentiful in our stash. Love patterning. I love security envelopes, and I love the patterning on this one. I make all kinds of cool stuff with mine. So that's how it was born. So I think we've been doing it for about 5 months over there, and there's a monthly swap. You'd have to check over there if you were interested in joining, but I think it's on the 15th of every month. Well, it has been for the past few months. Who knows how long. I guess it'll last as long as the interest is there. Don't you love this? This is a piece of scrapbooking paper that she had in her stash, but this is from a book page. Isn't that cool? This layout right here would make a really nice junk journal layout in my opinion. So anyway, we all started swapping our stashes, and what's really amazing is that we all have cool things just right from where we live and in our own work. So if you're interested, I would say jump over and check it out. Join the group. As I mentioned before, I'll put the link to the group in the description box below, and you can check it out. I'll also put a link to the lovely lady who made me this book. Her name is Jean. I'll put a link in the description box below of her YouTube channel along with Rosemary's YouTube channel. Isn't this cool? This is a prescription bag. Like, so most of the time we throw them away. These make really great pockets for junk journals, and inside of it she's put just all kinds of bits and pieces in there. Then she sent me some, these are dimensional stickers, and coffee filters that are painted on, and little bits and pieces from her travels. So what's cool is, you know, you can start viewing your maybe stuff that you have a lot of or little bits of. You can start compiling it if you have a theme going on and make your own versions for your own supply journals. I do it and I really enjoy it. So, isn't this cool? This is like, I don't know if it's wallpaper or if it's just it's a really neat textured paper. It feels too thin to be wallpaper, but it could be. You never know. It's really cool. So I'm trying out a new camera. You guys will have to tell me how you like it. I have had so many camera issues lately. It's been ridiculous. What should be easy just isn't. And so this is camera number 4, I think, that I'm attempting to use. Isn't this great? She tapes some bits and pieces. So we all have little cool scraps in our supplies that, I don't know, maybe we're tired of seeing that same pattern over and over again, but passing it on to somebody else, they'll like it. So I wanted to give you guys a quick flip through. I know you've seen the ones that I've sent out, but I wanted to give you a quick flip through of some of the ones I've received. And I've received more than the ones that I've shown you so far, but I'll have to try and get to them. And you have to realize that I've taken bits and pieces out of them, so they may not be complete. Isn't this cool? Look at all these cool little color doilies. I love those. You've definitely used those in my junk journals. And then she sent me, isn't this cool, an envelope that she made, and it's also filled with all kinds of bits and pieces and tissue paper. But I just like the little envelope. She made it out of junk mail. She put 2 really neat little brads and, you know, punched 2 holes, and then underneath the top one put a string to make the closure for the top and the bottom. Isn't that neat? So that's a great little idea all on its own, just to, you know, to use for your own journaling efforts. Kind of fun, yeah? She sent me lots of cool stuff, and I really like it. And I love the cover, and I have used some of the pieces from it, and I will continue to use hers as a supply journal because it is just really nice and very sturdy, and the papers don't get smashed in it. So this is from my friend Jean, and let me show you the one that I got from my friend Kathy. You can see everybody's style is so different. So isn't this beautiful? She did hers in like a file folder, and then she did the spine, or reinforced the spine with duct tape, which I use a lot in my journaling. Now hers is completely different, and I just love all of it. I think the fun thing for me is that even though I try to nominally take bits and pieces out initially, just so I can enjoy it as a piece of art. And she's really into origami, so you're going to see some cool origami things that she's made me. Isn't this cool? She made a pocket with the tea bag, and then put little bits in it. And these are sort of like heavy cardstock, kind of cool. Little bags. So isn't this cool? She did tons of origami in it. And I am into this altered playing cards. Wait till you see my tangent on altered playing cards. Even though I haven't been filming, I have been constantly making. Aren't they neat? I love this. And she sent me some cool little packaging. I make a lot of packaging tags for my journals, so if you've seen them, you'll see. And then she sent me some cool how to make origami. Isn't that neat? With origami paper. And some old scratched lottery tickets, which I really like. I love the cool bits of them. I don't know what I'll do with them yet, but Isn't that neat? So if you're into repurposing and into, mixed media art and different things like that, the group Trashy Junk Journals is a fun group to belong to because they are an awesomely creative, group of women that I think there might be a couple guys in there too that just really go to town, and I get inspired daily with somebody else's, they're the things that they make. And isn't this cool? There's little patterns and all sorts of different bits and pieces that she's put in there. And vintage book pages and these little cool little tags. And I have taken some of the bits out, so if you're watching Kathy, this is a cool postcard. If you're watching and you don't see all your bits in there, know that I've lovingly used some of them already. She sent me just so much cool stuff. So, recycling may not be for everyone, but it really gives you an idea, if you're a paper crafter, of all the different things you can do. Excuse me. Now the back is chock-a-block full, and I'm not going to take every single thing out, but you can just get some ideas, and maybe this will give you some ideas of things that you could put together to make your own inspirational Flowish doll journal for yourself, or maybe to even trade. In the back has got all kinds of little bits and pieces, like little vintage receipts and envelopes. And now if you can just see, she's made, this is an envelope filled with stuff right here, and then the paper bag filled with we were doing a tea swap at the time, and I was collecting tons of tea bits and stuff, so she knew. Isn't this cool? Her origami heart corner page tuck. I love it. And she included bits and pieces in the packaging as well. Now I love these. I was going to make, and this is perfect, I'm going to make one of these coffee, what are these called? You put them around your coffee cup. Coffee cozy journal. And so she sent me some cool bits of coffee cozies from where she is. Isn't that neat? So I could make two of them, because I have the front covers and the back covers of a couple. And she sent me some paper napkins. Anyway, I wanted to just share with you a few of the bits and pieces that I've received, and I want to encourage you, start viewing the things that you have in your everyday life that you're throwing away, or before you throw them away, start thinking, what could I do with this? Could I use it in a piece of artwork? Would it be something really cool for me? We live in a day and age where we all have a lot, and it's really fun to see how you can take and repurpose and recycle things into your art every day, from the everyday life you live. Anyway, from my heart to your heart, as always, I'm sending you so much aloha. Until next time, take care.